Hi, this is AP Stats Asynchronous Work, and let me open this assignment 30, chapter 6-2. There's one leftover question. We have been working about the Pete's and Erin's safari tours, and we come up the total price expected value. So I will go to this flashcard and total of expected value mean of two items. Simply add it, right? So then, should this one's supposed to be grab it down here. Let me see. Can I grab this? Okay, so here, simply add them. Okay, total of standard deviation of two items. Do you remember how we did? Okay, I want you to answer before I scroll down this flashcard. Okay. If you say simply add them, you're not on the right track, okay? What you have to do is first, you have to convert each value to the variance, okay? So you put the two variants together, you consider that as a new variance, which is for the total of the variance, okay? When you create the new variance, put a square root to return to standard deviation of the total, okay? Now, what I left over of the lesson, leftover was a lesson of assignment 30, it was chapter 6-2. I forgot to talk about a difference of the value, okay? And difference of the expected mean and difference of the standard deviation. So we still use Pete's Safari Tours and Erin's Safari Tours. I hope you remember those. And I just briefly talk about Safari Tours. About the Pete's Safari Tour was, this is Pete's, right? Standard deviation of the passenger was 3.75, not standard deviation, expected value, which is mean, right? And standard deviation is 1.087. So that is Pete's, okay? And Erin's was 3.10 and the standard deviation of 0.943, okay? And they're independent. So they don't interfere at the businesses. Okay, the one thing, where was that one? So let's see. Okay, I have to show the distribution of the table. So if you can see a little bit, it's a little hard. So this is Pete's business, and Erin's business. If you can see, maybe I should put this one down. And I will clean up the highlighter if I can. Okay. So Pete's business is X and Erin's business is Y. That's just comparing the passengers. So Pete's business has minimum 2 people and max 2. His Jeep is a little bigger. Erin's could be Jeep of the other track. It's a little smaller, so up to 5 people can get in. So the total of those two is 2 plus 2. So it's going to be 4, right? 4 is a minimum. Maximum is 6 plus 5, which is 11. What is the difference? So difference, the combination of difference, the minimum number is when P is 2, max number of Erin is 5. So 2 minus 5 is going to be negative 3, right? So negative 3 is going to be minimum value of the difference. How about max value? So 6 minus 2 is 4. So that might be my biggest value, right? 6 minus 2. How about, yeah, so that's it. 6 minus 2. So negative 3 to positive 4 is going to be the interval. So just remember that. So when I read this sentence. Okay, so let's go to the chapter here. the end of the chapter. So this is difference of random variables. Now that you've examined sums of random variables, it's time to investigate the difference of two random variables. Let's start by looking at the difference of the number of passengers that Pete and Erin have their tours on random select day. D for difference equal X minus Y. So we just did it, right? Because Pete average is mu sub X is 3.75 passenger per trip, and Erin's is 3.10, okay, per trip. The average is, so average of difference is just simply subtract, okay? So then we go back to the flashcard. If they're asking difference of expected value, the mean, simply subtract them, okay? The two items, okay? So we finished the three items of the flashcard. So let me go back to the, where was it? Right here. Okay. So the peak average is 0.65 passengers per day. He has 0.65 more passengers per day than Erin. Okay. So this is the equation. Expect value of the difference is mu sub X minus mu sub Y. Okay. The order of subtraction is important. Okay, if we had difference d of y minus x, that's a totally different mean, which means they come a negative 0.65. In other words, Erin average 0.65 fewer passengers than Pete does on the random chosen day. Okay, it might be same meaning, but it could be slightly off. So that's why it's the in order is important. Okay. Earlier, we saw the variance of the sum of two independent random variables is the sum of their variance. Okay, can you guess what the variance of difference of two independent random variables will be? If you think, okay, if you're thinking some of like difference of the variance, which is you put the square of the standard deviation of each value and subtract, that is not, this is, you have to think of a little bit again. So it became handy of what the range is. So the range I showed to you, the minimum range was those two tours is right here, 5 minus 2. That's the, I'm sorry, 6, where is it? 2 minus 5, right? 2, when Peter is 2 and Erin's 5. That is going to be negative 3. So that's the lower end. Upper end is 6 minus 2 is 4. So you can, that's a difference range. So you can think about this table. Start from negative 3 and max 4. How many, what's the range? What's the interval? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Now, what is the expected value, which is mean of difference? I told you simply subtract, right? So which is 0.65. Okay, how do you get the variance? 0.65, I'm sorry, negative 3 minus 0.65 square, and you multiply probability plus 0.65, I'm sorry, again, negative 2 minus 0.65 square and multiply probability. And you add those, everything, that will come up 2.0775 and square root of it. And it become of this number, 1.441. Is that something familiar to you? What did we do when we add? What was it when was the value we added? Not this one. Okay. Just remember 1.44 standard deviation. Where was it? Is this? Look. When we add the total, the difference is the same standard deviation is the same. So the flashcard number 4 is different standard deviation of two items. Do the same thing. Convert each two to variance Instead of subtract, you add them. And you get the new variance here, then square root. So basically, when they talk about total of the total of the standard deviation, different standard deviation, it's going to be same. Okay, same process. So when I do those flashcard activity next time in the classroom, this is the way you have to answer. What is the total? How do we do the total value of the mean? Simply add them. Total of the two standard deviation, two different items, standard deviation. You change to variance and you add them and square root. Okay? Difference of the expected value. So difference of the mean. You just simply subtract them. Okay, so one from the other. Okay, different standard deviation of the two items. You do the same treatment that we did on the standard deviation of two items. Okay, this is the end of chapter 6-2, and we're going to start with 6-3 next time we see the let's say next lesson. Okay, so I will have. I hope somebody's watching this, and if you're watching and you just would like to get the feedback, if you have a request of any jazz music, I can play. If I can play, I will play. So this is the Duke Ellington score. I got it back. Have a nice break.